Well, as I said, you guys are going to get a top 10 list from Amy this week. She was in Ontario with us training all the babies. She was in Ohio with us training all the babies. So she got a bird's eye view of everybody also. So I'm going to get her to do her top 10 list. Now, how she's going to do it tomorrow, I have no idea. That will be up to her. But I want to talk about it, 2-year-olds. You know, I tell you guys, the good horses will get really good, then they'll get kind of good, they'll get really good, but they'll always stay pretty good. The ones that I want to see this time of year are the ones that I've been frustrated with. We've either castrated them, made shoeing changes, equipment changes. I want to see them come forward. I want to see them start to do their work. And this week in Ontario and in Ohio, I saw 2 or 3 or 4 horses that have been frustrating me over the last little while that have really, really come forward in a big way. 2 of them trained today and looked very, very good. One looked amazing, and one is set easily. The other one showed some poise now in behaving, sitting in. Horse made a break in front of him, never jostled him, moved out around that horse and zipped up the inside and was flying at the wire. After the wire, shot through the inside, and by the time we got to the turn, had taken over the lead and was driving away. That is the type of stuff I love to see. Now, we'll talk about the horses that have really wowed me this week. And those horses that wowed me aren't necessarily our best horses, but they've come the most, the furthest in a short period of time. What I mean is, they were, as I said a couple of minutes ago, very frustrating over the last couple of months. And whether it was those shoeing changes we made or equipment changes we made, or castrating the horses, they have really, really come a long way. And there are some of those I want to talk about today, but I'm going to start from the top. AC Swan made a break on Jason today. You know, I've been telling him for a couple of weeks, I thought the hobbles maybe were a little too tight, a little too loose on this filly. I could be wrong. And we've given her a lot of leeway because she was behind the horses a little bit. But now it's time to start pulling your skirt up, towing the line, doing your best work, and I'll go with this. I'll try my best to go with this filly. Now, next week we might go with 7 or 8 shorter sets so that I can get some of these horses on my dance card, so to speak, so that I can get a look at them. But I don't see anything really mechanically off or incorrect with AC Swan. Just a few little minor tweaks, and we'll start doing that this week. Activation looked amazing since we, well, 1, castrated him. 2, put that open bridle on him. He can start to see everything. He's a little more goofy around, you know, stuff that he's not used to seeing out of his peripheral. But he has been very, very good of late. Won a set, I believe, today and looked extremely good. Very impressed with the way this horse has made gains. Affection has always been good. Amy went with her today. She was absolutely flying at the wire. We were smoking from the head of lane to the wire. She came from 5th or 6th to get beat 3/4 of a length and looked amazing. The filly is just such a nice filly. Alibaba, big gains from this filly. Just put the knee boots on her. She looked great today. Really, really good looking filly. Very happy with the way this class included filly has looked. Antilles Hanover got the W today. It was only a matter of time before Antilles Hanover jumped forward. Daryl was very, very impressed with this guy today, which is good. He's now starting to show some enthusiasm when it comes to working. Before, he just was even Steven. Always did his work well, was always in the hunt, always right there. Today, took the bull by the horns and looked very, very good. Arson was great today. Amy, I suspect this horse will make Amy's top 10 list. She went with him today. Very fast horse. Still very terrified of the tractors and trucks and water trucks. But when push came to shove today and she put him in gear, she thought she beat me. She didn't. But we tied at the wire. Vaquero Blue Chip and her tied at the wire. And both looked very, very good. But Arson had made a couple of big moves in the mile and looked really, really good. Blanton's Blue, one of the biggest movers of the week. We've been waiting for this guy to come forward. This horse only has 1 sibling, and that is Mombasita, who's made what, $500,000? $500,000 last year, and she was a tactical landing for Gary out there. But Blanton's Blue, this is a Chapter 7 colt. We did castrate him. He lost a shoe at the start today. I watched it spin off. I didn't see him grab it, but it spun right off, and it was sitting there just as we started our 1.5 miles, and AC Swan had made a break in front of me around the last turn, and I kind of jammed him through and shot through the inside, and I gave him every opportunity to make a break getting into the turn after, because he was trotting as hard as he could lay his legs to the ground. We got to the turn, I never cinched him up a bit. I just kind of growled at him and brushed the whip over his tail, and he went blasting right through the turn and looked really, really good. So big gains from Blanton's Blue this week. I will call a spade a spade. This horse has been frustrating me as much as any horse definitely has this year for the last little while, but has made big gains this week. Really impressed with him this week. Born to Dance, another horse. I haven't gone with this guy, so maybe that's the only reason I'm not as over the moon with him as I could be, because he has looked fantastic also. Both Jasons have gone with this guy. Everybody's gone with this horse but me, I believe, and he was really smoking on the end of it today and looked good. Chirahola continues to make those gains I like to see from her. She still is quite a ways from the top of the heap in the Ohio Trotting Filly division, but making her way through that line, so to speak, and looking better every single week. Cowboy by the Sea looked great again today. Very happy with this guy. We broke down and put aluminums on him up front. Not a big fan of putting aluminum shoes on babies this early, but he had such a trappy gait. I just thought he'd feel a little more comfortable in the aluminums. We had put them on Rito's Lady in Ontario, and a huge difference in her gait. So I thought we'd keep an eye on them. I'm going to watch very closely how he's wearing those shoes, because he's a big heavy colt, but he looked mighty good today with aluminums on in Ohio. Did not know, continues to come forward, looked good today, did her work well. Joey went with her. I was very happy with Did Not Know. Don't Talk About Bruno has done very well over the last little while. And I lost the toe weight in a stall the other morning, and I said, he'll be all right, just go without it. He wasn't. He made a break in the turn, but just goes to show you what a tiny little 3-ounce toe weight missing can do to a horse's gait in one morning. So Don't Talk About Bruno. I don't foresee there being any problem. Simply put the toe weight back on, and away you go. Drebin has been great for 2-3 weeks now. Looked good again this week. Very happy with him. Easy in the turns. I'm going to work with her a little bit. I know a lot of people hear me talk about her, and they're very worried. Oh, Anthony, can you go there? Can you go there next week? Can you see what's wrong with her? Are you sure she's going to be okay? Relax. It is April the 8th, 2023. She is 60 days from even being close to qualifying. We're going to take her over and get her checked this week. The reason I haven't gone with her isn't because I don't care. It's because she doesn't run. Right? Mechanically, she continues to do her work and progress. There's no need for her to go out there and just scream forward. She's continuing to do her work well. Yes, a little rolly in the turns, but still doesn't make breaks and always puts forth an honest effort. So we'll get her looked at this week, and I promise I will go with her over the next 2 weeks just to make sure everything's okay. But I just think I see a big, growthy, muscle mass filly is all I see. Electric Line did his work today. 223. Speed-wise, he's right up there with them, but, he's 3-4 weeks work-wise behind them. And the breaks, I didn't see those today, but he was not in a group setting. This was by himself. So, this is a horse I'd like to pencil in to go with this week to see if I can just get a look at what's going on, because I went with him today. It's the first time I sat with him behind him in a while. I saw nothing wrong. Running in a little bit, a little scrambling. Okay, fine, I get it. I don't really see a whole lot wrong with this guy. Let me defer till Wednesday, and I'll have a better look at him. Flash Fly was great again. The thing I love about these green shoes, they come forward. Sure, they'll make mistakes. They'll get out of gear. They're rude. They're rotten sometimes, but they always want to come forward and compete, and I love that about them. This filly's just a beautiful filly to go with. Yes, she gets out of gear. Johnny, everybody's worried the day after she trains. She's a little rickety. Yeah, she's a growing filly. I get it. I understand. But when it comes to her, the most important thing that you can't teach the horses is competitiveness, and she is chock full of that. George of the Jungle's been training great. Very happy with him. Goldbug had a lot of swelling and ulcerated epiglottis on this filly, so there is going to be a little downtime with her. Now, doesn't mean she has to stand. She can go in the field. She can go on the walker. Maybe even go in the pool, but I'd like to keep the bit out of her mouth. I'd like to keep the tension off the jaw area of this filly and let that cool down that epiglottis. So probably have a throat spray that has some sort of cortisone in it. Obviously we're quite a ways from racing, so it's not a big deal, but just to try and cool that down, cool it out, and make no mistake, it is going to take some some downtime to get it right. But listen, this is Locatelli's sister. There's no rush with her. We're going to use that downtime. This, you always want to turn a negative into a plus, especially when you can in this game. And the only good thing about her being down is we can put lots of weight on her. So Goldbug Hanover, I might even bring her back to Ontario because she can win the paddock here. She can win the paddock at first line. She can win the pool at first line. She can win the walker at first line. We can keep our eyes on this filly. So you might actually see Goldbug Hanover make her way back or make her way to Ontario, Canada. Great Bet. Another horse. Huge gains in the last 2 weeks. This horse looked great training on Tuesday. Looked great again on Friday. I like what I see from Great Bet. I tell everybody all the time, when they start to look like a horse, then they're going to perform like a horse. This horse just looked odd all winter, kind of lethargic and drawing out, and just looked shitty all winter. But like every athlete, we just kept working and working and working and working at him. Now he's starting to look good, and he looked good this week. Green Tea, tons and tons and tons of speed, still throwing his head. And I told him to take that check bit out of his mouth. We can go the chin strap or just put it back in the snaffle bit, because he really doesn't wear much of an overcheck anyway. He doesn't wear it tight. Most important, get that martingale on him, get a brain cord on him, and anchor him down. Oddly enough, his father wore a brain cord and a tight martingale. Shocking. So Green Tea could easily be one of our faster colts. Just have to get that head on square. Gypsy Hill looked great again today. Amy went with him. She'll tell you more about him tomorrow, but probably one of our best horses here in Ohio is Gypsy Hill. He looked great again today. Hallie in the Clouds with the hoops on, much better. Looked good training Tuesday and Saturday. Actually, made a break on Tuesday. Looked great training Wednesday and Friday. Looked very, very good this week. Happy to see this filly start. If she needed a little set of training wheels back on, fine, so be it. Not the end of the world. Hallie in the Clouds with the hobbles. Very, very good. I'm Fancy Like. Looked good again this week. Insider Trading looked good again this week. Made a break on Saturday, but I know exactly what happened. I watched her touch herself. Left hind, right front up on the knee. I think if we just drop her angle a little bit on the outside of that left hind, I think you're going to see her not hit that left hind, not hit that right front knee, not make breaks, and start to come forward with big quarters when we need her to. International Spy, I saw him today, put a blister on his legs. He is heading, as Atlas Hanover gets dropped off tomorrow morning by Jacob Schaefer. He's going to pick up International Spy. Now, a lot of people might ask Anthony, we have paddocks in Ontario. Why would you send him to Pennsylvania? Very good question. Jacob Schaefer and Schaefer Farms have lots of hills on their property. Big hills. That's what I want this guy going up and down. All spring into the summer. Bring him back fat, bring him back sound, and bring him back legged up. J-Port Beach Boy, another massive mover. I went with this guy thinking he was going to be ignorant and rude. The horse was awesome. All I do is just tap the shaft a couple of times and growl at him, and he trained very, very strong on Friday. Very happy with this guy. Levac in action. Got to do a little work with her. The thing I like about her, she's putting weight on. She's growing up. She's filling out. She's looking like a nice horse now. And as I just said to you a minute ago, when they start to look nice, they start to train nice. So it's only a matter of time for Levac in action to get back on track and start moving forward again. Lonely Lakewood has just been great. Top to bottom, start to finish, been one of our best performers all year long and continues to be. Lover's Play looked very, very good today. I love this filly. I think she has a ton to offer. I think we're going to have a lot of fun with her. Now, for those of you who are maybe my partners on her saying, I can't wait to see her in New Jersey, you may have to wait till 2024. She has got a full slate in Kentucky, whether it be the Oak Grove Stakes in June or the Kentucky Sires after that. I don't think you're going to see her make her way to the East Coast this year. I think she's going to hang out in Kentucky and stay there all year long. Mick Paisley almost didn't make a break the other day. As I said, she sucks you in, right? She feels like she wants to come forward and just give her a head and chirp to her. She just gets out of gear and makes a break. I said to Danny, pull her hobbles in one more hole, and then everybody has to be aware that's where she can make a break. Do not let her suck you in to dropping the hammer on her. She will come. It's just going to take work. We have a number of options still, and I'm not concerned in any way with her. So I guess since we have the other filly going over, we can send it over and have her looked at, I suppose. I think we already did. I got to check my notes. Mel Gibbs won good, but he coasted from the right line to the left line. And we got him squared away. We got him cleaned up real good. Went to train him today. He trained good. Then Jason said he's on the left line. I said, hold on. Is this not the same horse you told me he's on the right line 2 weeks ago? He said he was on the right line 2 weeks ago. He's on the left shaft. Today he was on the left line. Sounds like I need to go with this guy soon. Mel Gibbswan got lots to offer. And again, another horse we have tons of options with. What those options are, we will start to implement them here very, very soon. Memory and Imagination was great today. This is a very, very, very nice horse. Not shocking. This is a Father Patrick out of his sister to a horse I think is one of our best horses this year in Brace for Landing. We'll see. Maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong. But this is a very, very well-bred horse, and he looks good right now. Militant has looked good. Hit his knee, it blew up. We took a couple of weeks to get it squared away, but he looks good now, and he's coming forward. He looked very good today. Mounds for All is now in Ontario. So we'll see how Mounds for All does next week. I think he'll love First Line. I think Widespread Panic will fall in love with a bigger track. Can't wait to get training and get these guys going the right way this week. No Chance in Hill, first time with the hobbles on today. Amy said he did his work very well. She went with him. He looked great. And I think he's going to love these trot and hobbles. So another horse that loves to do his work. Oh Snap You looked good today. Continues to look good. Paycheck Princess. Eric Palatин's been going with this horse and said she is very good right now. Pulled her hobbles in, made a few little changes. Hit the right button with her. She looks very, very good. Now, Pickpocket, again, one of our top horses. I love this horse. I love everything about Pickpocket. I don't like that the girls keep asking me to geld him because he's loud in the barn. Him and Cowboy are loud in the barn. They're bullies, right? They were trying to bully the girls around, and Cowboy's being loud today, and he got a little slap in the schnoz. And I straightened him right up, walked him right by the fillies. He never made a noise. And he said, why can't you just do this all the time? Why's it got to come to this? So, Cowboy by the Sea and Pickpocket, two horses that are studs that are likely to remain studs, and I like both of them very, very much. Prince Charmer, got a curb crowd on him today. Just keep turning those stones over. I think by the time we're done fixing and molding and squeezing Prince Charmer into the horse we hope he is, I think we're going to have a lot of fun with this guy this summer. So that curb is going to be off probably till Wednesday. We likely won't train him next week, and he'll start back full training after that. Pull the Shoes. Made a break today, but I put her in a spot to make a break. I want to test her sometimes. She's been awesome and continues to be awesome and look great again today. In the last turn, she wanted to come at Sedona Hill on the front, 100 around the last turn. I kept holding her back and sitting in her, and she was getting frustrated. We went to come out of the last turn, and she went to scream forward, and that left foot come up and touch that right knee, and she made a break. She'll do that once in a while. She'll narrow filly. Once in a while, she'll slap her knees. Not a big deal. But putting her in a position that she has to understand what she can and can't do is important, right? It's important for her. It's important for me. And Pull the Shoes has been great. And that wasn't her today. She's been awesome. And I talked to Enos after. Funny, she's a green shoe. The same changes I want to make with her are the exact same changes we've been making with Flash Fly and International, or what the hell's the filly's name? Insider Trading. The exact same changes. Funny. He stamps all his horses the same, I guess. I don't know. But Pull the Shoe has been great. Punch the Clock's just sensational. I think so highly of this filly, and James has done a great job with her. She's fun to train. I went with her a couple of weeks ago. You can tell there's a big engine and a very nice horse in there. I can't wait to see it. Purple People Eater had a splint crowd on her today. She's been good, but running in a little bit. Made a break in the last turn on Joey, I believe. But that splint was biting her a little bit. We just had that crowd today. Ready for Landing, another horse. Just huge improvements on this horse. He was great on Tuesday. He was sensational on Friday. And I don't mean like he just wowed everybody and people were running to the track saying, Anthony, who is this horse? No, that isn't what I meant. To me, he was sensational. I sat behind him because I know the errors he was making. I know the mistakes that I saw him make. I don't see them now. I didn't see him make them. I didn't see him look to make them. All I saw was a horse that wanted to come forward and started to use his head. And I've been waiting all spring long to see this horse's brain start to come to life. And he looked very, very good on Friday. Where are we at now? Really don't care. I'm not doing the top 10 list, but if I was, I think top 10 overall right now. That list is always moving. Great horses, 30 or more of them, top to bottom, like that I think are very, very nice horses. So there's going to be a lot of jostling. Really don't care. Today, this week, cemented my pick as being the front runner right now. New York bred, Chapter 7 filly. This is the first foal from an explosive manner, sister to Cedar Dove, right? Yeah, or Cedar Dove's mother. No, it was Cedar Dove, I believe. just a tremendous family, and this filly has just been lights out for a long time. This is a really, really nice filly. The thing I love the most about her is how consistent she's been, right? Consistently been good, and this week has been great, and would be on the top of my top 10 list, but not my list this week. It's Amy's. Rito's Lady. Amy won with Rito's Lady. Training on Friday, she looked good. This is a filly. We're probably going to train her for another month, put her out in the grass, and bring her back. There wasn't a mix-up. She didn't get staked, right? And I actually traced it back to she wasn't nominated as a baby, so we had to pay a little bit extra. She's nominated as a 3-year-old. She'll be sustained as a 3-year-old, but she's going to stay in Canada as a 2-year-old, which she may have anyway. So it's not really the end of the world. I like what I see from this filly, but I do think giving her, I don't mind this path. Training her till middle of May, she'll probably be around 210, and kicking her out in the field, and then bringing her back midsummer. I think we're going to have a nice filly with this filly. I like what I see. She's tough. Of all our horses, she is amongst some of the top horses as far as toughness goes. Yeah, she's very, very tough. Royal Emerald's one of our best horses. I really like this filly. I say that a lot. You know, I get messages from people saying, "Oh my God, Anthony, you must have the best horses in the world." I'm an optimistic person, and I'm going to focus on the strengths of our horses. And when I see Royal Emeralds and how she's been training, she's strong. Very, very good filly. Seasons of Love did her work well on Friday. Johnny and I trained J-Port Beach Boy and her together. She did everything we asked her to do. Sedona Hill won her set today and looked fantastic out there today. Again, continues to be amongst the top of the heap in Ohio right now. It's a tough division. We have 3 or 4 colts and fillies that just look really, really good all the time. And this filly right now, and has been quietly, I think, queen of the castle for a little bit now. Southwind Digit made a break on Jason today, but I know exactly what took place there. We're going to continue to chip away at her. A few little changes coming up, and I'll train her on Wednesday. Sunset Acres Girl won her set today and looked very, very good doing it. What can you say? Can't say much about the Sunset Acres Banker breed. It's just been tremendous. She's a nice filly. What can you say? Sweeney was great today, flying on the end of it. We actually took White Tiger's elbow boots and gave them to Sweeney because we bought White Tiger a brand new set. He'll wear those on Monday. Sweeney liked his today. He looked really, really good training in them. 3rd and 6 was good today. He continues to make his way forward. You know, he's not at the top of the heap. He's got a lot of work to do, but again, one of those, his attitude is in check now, so he's on the right side of that. But just that even Steven type. Let's see what happens when we put the rest of the work into him and get him to the races. I don't know what he'll be. That will be up to him. The breeding is there. The gait is there. The talent is there. What he chooses to do with them will be up to him. Vaquero Blue Chip made some of the biggest gains this week. I went a huge mile with this guy. I put him in every tough position you could put him in today training on purpose. I dared him to make a break. Not only did he not make a break, but he mauled them and looked very good. This is the brother to Spider Blue Chip. I didn't want to geld him, but am I ever glad I did? Because 2 weeks ago, this was not Vaquero Blue Chip. 2-3 weeks ago, and what he did today, he just looked calm, cool, and collected, understood his work, and I barely had to whisper at him, and he was gone. Venice Blue Chip looked very, very good. So impressed with this filly. She didn't look awesome today, but you know, Amy was just trying to be safe with her. And I told her, I said, from the head of lane to the wire, this is a half-mile track. It's really hard to make up ground. And Amy was sitting 5th and finished 5th. But the filly looked great and continues to look great. Victory Blue Chip was good today, trying to get this guy back on track. We had him castrated. This was his first training trip back. It'll be another if Blanton's Blue and Vaquero Blue Chip and horse like that or any indicator, give us about 14 days. And I think we'll have a much better feel for Victory Blue Chip. Watch Your Mouth continues to train good. Very happy with this guy. And Widespread Panic, now in Ontario. He's going to love First Line Training Center. Can't wait to get training him over there. And our girl Winter Bells, again, amongst the top of the class. Won her set again on Friday. Just been a really, really nice filly. Just a treat to train down. So those are all the 2-year-olds. All of them. Just got the 3-year-olds. I might have enough sunlight to get the 3-year-olds in. I'll be back in just a minute.